Today's Alpine, 35 years of innovation, dedication, and superior customer service. Some of you know this story well. You've experienced it. Others are new to Alpine, and even the industry itself. The modern wood truss industry began nearly 50 years ago when Carroll Samford replaced plywood gussets with metal nail plates that had teeth punched out to better hold truss pieces together. Over the years, many different connector plates were tried and tested for improved pressing and holding values. Today, the Alpine Wave Plate is the clear industry leader. 5 years out of Notre Dame, a young Bill McAlpin signed on as chief engineer with Samford Company in Pompano Beach. A few months later, Charlie Harnden joined up as a salesman. By the middle 60s, they decided to go into business themselves, following disagreements with the strong-willed Samford, who was not always as cheerful as he appears here. Actually, he fired him. In 1966, Alpine's founders saw that the demand for safe, affordable housing far outweighed the ability of the building industry to keep pace. They realized that the biggest time saver during construction was to simplify roof assembly. Their business plan was pretty basic: design good, competitive trusses, sell the connectors that would hold the lumber together, work closely with the customers to get the job done, and done right. Their business philosophy was equally simple: provide customers with top-quality engineering, good delivery, and personal service. The customers' businesses would prosper and grow, and with a little luck, so would Alpine's. Charlie and Bill started out in a 10 by 12 foot office, tucked behind a 7-Eleven convenience store in Pompano. Using a slide rule, mechanical calculator, and Verifax copy machine, they produced 200 truss designs for their 3 customers that first year. Last year, Alpine engineers reviewed 2.5 million designs. 1970 was a benchmark year for Alpine. The firm took initial steps toward becoming a full-service company by writing its own software, an optimizing and pricing program, and by working with LOEM Incorporated to develop a line of truss assembly equipment. By 1973, Alpine was beginning to look like a company with nationwide aspirations. It acquired a competing company and stamping plant in Tucker, Georgia, jobbed out plate stamping in Fort Worth, Texas, and had 60 customers subscribing to Alpine's CompuTime Honeywell computer over telephone lines to get cutting. They also purchased the aforementioned LOEM, which was purported to stand for Little Old Equipment Maker. It was run by Tom Maloney, a crafty Irishman who as a child was one of the members of the original Our Gang film comedy troupe. Tom could make just about anything out of steel, and that year introduced 5 new machines to make floor trusses, specialty components, hip jacks, hip trusses, and bowstring trusses. 3 years later, Alpine celebrated its 10th anniversary, even though the nation was just recovering from an 18-month recession. By then, the original 2-man firm had 85 employees, facilities in Florida, Georgia, Indiana, and Texas, and nearly 300 customers from Florida to Oregon to Maine to New Mexico. The Pompano Beach headquarters was located in 6 buildings, comprising 67,000 square feet. Always involved in industry-wide education, Charlie Harnden helped form the group that preceded WTCA. He also commissioned one of the industry's first movies to help customers sell the advantages of the 4x2 floor system to builders and code officials, and developed a traveling commercial industrial sales school to help customers learn how to compete in that industry.
For a company to grow from a simple beginning to an industry leader in just 10 years, it distantly served the needs of its customers. This is the story of how Alpine meets the needs of the wood truss industry.
A total truss system is made up of quality truss connectors, fast, reliable engineering, computerized cutting and costing programs, and efficient truss manufacturing equipment. With computer engineering goes computer cutting and pricing service. At a small cost, the computer terminal is placed in the truss fabricator's office. With this terminal, the fabricator has direct access to the Alpine computer programs stored in the multi-million-dollar time-shared computer center in Orlando, Florida. After After preparing the data in his own office, the fabricator simply makes a toll-free call to the computer. He gets immediate cutting and pricing information printed right in his office.
Has the computer made your job easier?
Yes, Bill, not only has the computer made their job easier, but it's made our operation more profitable.
Would you ever go back to the old way?
Not willingly.
No.
Alpine's president, Charles Harnden, sums up Alpine's full-service philosophy.
As you've seen, Alpine offers a wide variety of products and services. They've been developed to help our customer be more effective and more profitable in his own business operation. We feel that if our customer is successful, then Alpine will be successful. Our goal is to meet the needs of the wood truss industry. The Alpine Total Truss System is the result of working towards that goal.
In the late 1970s, Charlie Harnden and lumbermates George Eberly got together to found the group that became BCMC. The first equipment exhibition was held in 1980. Alpine showed the Ram Speed Roll, cord splicer, and informed about its new computerized truss layout program. Many Alpine customers have always been industry leaders. For instance, an article in the 33rd issue of Good Connections newsletter told how a customer who was building trusses in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, used a Texas Instruments data terminal to access Alpine's computer in Petaluma via a space satellite. The internet, as we know it, was still many years away. Oddly enough, by the 15th anniversary in 1981, the nation was once again struggling to get out of another recession. Economists hoped that by spring of '82, construction would improve because home loan interest rates could be all the way down to about 13%. Meanwhile, Alpine remained bullish. The company had established engineering and connector plate manufacturing operations in Pompano Beach, Florida, Tucker, Georgia, Beltsville, Maryland, St. Charles, Illinois, and Petaluma, California, and an engineering office in Arlington, Texas. The Speed Roll System 42-floor truss machine had been well received in the marketplace, and Alpine was manufacturing the Sanford Rollamaster, the most productive truss fabrication machine the industry has ever known, versions of which are still the core of our equipment line. The anniversary was celebrated during the 11th annual Alpine Truss Manufacturers Workshop at the Marriott Hotel and Marina in Fort Lauderdale. In reminiscing, Bill McAlpin noted that the first Alpine design manual he and Charlie produced in 1966 contained 48 drawings, which they thought was complete. But by 1981, Alpine had 237 design manuals, each containing an average of 75 drawings, and it still wasn't enough. When Charlie Vaccaro asked if he thought some new technology might replace the wood truss, he said, "I don't think that'll happen in our lifetime. I see a greater role for trusses in the years ahead." But that's not to say that the I-Series with the plywood center doesn't have a place in our business. I think it will replace the 2x10 and 2x12 joists and rafters as they become scarcer and harder to get. Though we're not ready to call Charlie the new Nostradamus, today's I-beams and engineered lumber products prove his prediction was right on the mark. The company continued to aggressively develop the Alpine brand, which has become well known through its many educational programs. More than 70,000 design professionals and specialists could learn about trusses in an annual insert in Sweet's catalog that was initiated in 1974 and would continue each year until 1996. They could also receive the Architect and Engineer Manual, a 3-ring binder containing a host of information, span tables, and details. A similar binder was distributed to builders and contractors. Alpine also co-produced seminars with customers to help educate architects, engineers, contractors, and building officials on the benefits of engineered wood trusses. To help customers in their plants, workshops for foremen and plant superintendents were conducted around the country. A quality control program was developed that included a slide presentation and a series of posters for the plant. During this period, the large Alpine planning calendars began decorating the walls of customers' plants and offices across the country.
The customers are changing, and they certainly do feel like that the computer is part of their life. It simplifies a lot of their jobs, and sometimes I think they don't understand all of the things that are behind the scenes, as Bill said, the things that really make it work, and the years of testing and the years of experience that it takes to make the program correct.
They're becoming more sophisticated.
They are.
They're able to understand what it takes to make a truss figure. They can add webs, or they can make little changes in the design to make something work, whereas before they had no idea.
By 1983, the economy was improving. Fabricators were upbeat, Alpine's manufactured housing division was contributing to the bottom line, and Alpine went into the I-beam manufacturing business. A popular phenomena of the time was competing among fabricators to see how many trusses could be produced in a single shift. Good Connections duly reported the results. Workshop number 14 in 1985 featured a tour of Alpine's recently opened Haines City, Florida plant. Alpine introduced the first phase of its layout program with CAD-type graphics. A year later, Alpine's TrussCalc software enabled customers to use IBM PCs as intelligent workstations. Also that year, Alpine embarked on what was to be an ambitious program of video production and educational use to help sell machinery. The first was a conversion to video of a handling and bracing slideshow. Next came the lumber carousel, still being shown today. Another feature, the Roll-A-Master line, and one on R&D testing, is also still in circulation.
Come travel with us as we discover the marvelous accomplishments of America's most important businesses on American Spotlight. And now from the CSTV studios, this is American Spotlight.
More and more, architects are designing homes that call for exotic and appealing roof lines and ceiling pitches. Since the 1960s, this trend toward open, attractive living spaces has brought about a wide acceptance of engineered or manufactured roof truss systems. Today's guest, Alpine Engineered Products, has long enjoyed a leading position in the manufactured truss industry, an industry which now provides roof trusses for 90% of the new homes built in America. Alpine's specialty is engineering the truss systems, an expertise that has helped Alpine's business grow by some 700% in the last decade alone. Please welcome Charles W. Harnden, President, and William R. McAlpin, Vice President of Alpine Engineered Products. Welcome, gentlemen. Charlie, your industry has grown so rapidly. What do you account, how do you account for that?
It has grown rapidly. It's been, Bill and I started in business in 1966 with 2 people. Since then, we've gone from 2 to about 400, so it has grown. It's grown because the truss industry has grown tremendously, and that's really helped us to continue to expand.
It wasn't very long ago that I just knew a computer couldn't design a truss. No way.
What changed your mind?
They're doing it.
Yeah?
They're doing so many truss designs. There's no way today that we could keep up with the tremendous number of engineering designs that we do. So, and then we're just about to introduce a job designer computer program where our customer can take the architect's plans and put the layout into his computer, and from there it will automatically design the truss. It'll bid the job first, design all of the trusses.
That spring, ATP was announced. In January of 1987, the entire computer services staff was comprised of 11 people, only 5 of whom were programmers. '88 was another pivotal growth year for the company, first with the year-end acquisition of Lumbermate Company. Like Alpine, Lumbermate was one of the truss industry's full-service pioneers and had an outstanding reputation for engineering and customer service. Earlier in the year, Alpine purchased Linkwood Corporation and its tension web product. The year saw groundbreaking for a new plant in Nottingham, Pennsylvania, and at BCMC, demonstrations of the AutoSet jigging, the first computer-controlled and automated truss setup system. The following year, plate manufacturing began in a refurbished Litchfield, Illinois plant, and Alpine acquired a majority interest in Alpine Systems Corporation of Canada. As the decade grew to a close, AutoSet 2 was making headlines, and a 27-minute movie about Alpine appeared on cable TV across the country. Alpine's 25th anniversary in 1991 found the nation in yet another recession. But one truss manufacturer observed that church construction was likely to increase, which would be good for truss fabricators. He said, "Churches are often built when the economy is depressed. They always find a way to get the money." Turned out, he was right.
This program brings a substantial departure from previous versions of the truss analysis program, because previous versions of the truss analysis program have been data file based, and the new program, TrussCalc 92, is graphics based. This means that as you flip a web, or as you change a web size, or as you stub a truss, you see that change immediately in front of you on the screen.
TrussCalc 92 was introduced. Alpine began expansion into the European market in Germany and purchased DuPont International, a Belgian manufacturer of component saws. In 1993, Bill McAlpin asked a workshop audience, "How many of you have been attacked by a spotted owl, or a red cock-headed woodpecker, or a California gnatcatcher? One way or another, we all have." The Endangered Species Act has cost all of us lots of money and higher lumber prices, and as far as I can see, for very little reason. Good Connections that fall boasted that the Automaster computer-controlled saw could make 50 setups and cut 335 pieces in less than an hour. What's more, it was true. The same issue featured Charlie Hoover's Lessons of Hurricane Andrew. To this day, a frequently downloaded article from our website. Also included was a 4.5-page article by Stu Lewis on why and how Alpine conducts a major ongoing truss testing program. At BCMC 94, we once again stole the show when we took the wraps off, literally, of the concept saw, later named the AutoWeb. The industry-leading auto mill component cutter was soon to follow. The following year at BCMC, we kept up the pressure, and we demonstrated the industry's first internet website.
Hi, my name is Katie Bassani, Projects Coordinator for Alpine's Computer Services Department. This winter we're releasing a brand new update. We call it the Integrated System Light version from Alpine. If you drink enough of this stuff, you may not notice the granulars, or you may not care.
Order now. That's Katie's wacky Integrated System Light. Call 1-800-ALPINO. Operators are standing by.
The best part about this is, when I add trusses to that area, that inverted hip profile will be built right in.
1995 also saw the introduction of planes-based layout.
This winter, we're releasing a brand new update. We call it the Integrated System Light version. This update is very large in scope. It contains some projects we've been working on over the past 2 years. If you hit the Layout button, it'll bring up the current layout on your screen. If you hit the Engineering button, it'll take you to the current truss for that particular job.
A job-based design method is one of the paradigm shifts necessary to take advantage of the software technology available in the market today.
The electronic exchange of information from the architect one day will go further than just the truss company. One day building departments will be reviewing electronic drawings, and contractors will be opening up laptops at job sites instead of unrolling blueprints.
Of the many videos Alpine produced during the 90s, 3 are important sources of revenue for WTCA: Safety in the Truss Plant, HIB 91, and Framing the American Dream. The balance of the 90s saw the grand opening of the Grand Prairie, Texas plant, the introduction of the wave plate, the emergence of truss steel, the debut of the auto mill component cutter, the breakthrough integrated system, the going full throttle design challenge, the sudden death of Charlie Harnden, and the subsequent purchase of Alpine. As we enter the new millennium, 2 exciting new machines were introduced at BCMC 2000, the Floormaster and the Ram Easy Rider. In keeping with Alpine's philosophy of continual improvement and product development to help our customers operate efficient and profitable businesses, we're proud to introduce ArmaDeck and ArmaTile. Structural metal roofing tile provide the basis for Alpine's goal of providing a total roofing solution.
Change is coming. Success will be about working harder, about working smarter, about working together. The future has never been brighter.
Trust, vision, growth. Alpine. Technology-driven products and services for the building industry.